Okay, so what we're looking at now is we've got two terms out of our three, and we're trying to figure out which values for C will make this a perfect square trinomial. Once we find that, we want to write the expression as a perfect square. So if you remember from class today, we found a basic way. We looked at a bunch of patterns. We did a bunch of these types of problems in a row, and we found a pattern, and we were able to write a relationship between B and C. And if you remember, our relationship was just C equals, it was B over 2 squared. So that is all we have to do to find C. When you've isolated, so when you've got x squared plus bx, and you've got nothing else for C, all you have to do is take b over 2 and square it, and you get your C value. So in this case, b is equal to 40. Remember, b is just the coefficient in front of x. So we get b is equal to 40. So we get 40 divided by 2, which gives us 20. So we get 20. And then all we do is we go ahead and square that, and we get C equals 400. So that turns this into a perfect square trinomial. So x squared plus 40x plus 400 is what our trinomial is going to be. Now, when we want to write that as the square of a binomial, that means we want to have x plus something squared. So how do we factor this as x plus whatever value we're supposed to have squared equals x squared plus 40x plus 400? Now, the trick to that is that when you add b over 2 squared, you're always going to factor this down to x plus b over 2. So what we're going to have is just x plus 20 squared, and that is equal to x squared plus 40x plus 400. Those two are equivalent, and x plus 20 squared is just our squared version of the binomial. So a couple things to remember. When you have x squared plus bx, all you have to do is take b minus 2 and square it to get the C value you need to turn that into a perfect square trinomial. And in order to write that expression as the square of a binomial, you just write your binomial as x plus b over 2 squared, which in this case is x plus 20 squared.